Welcome to Creative Stir ASMR. A place to relax and increase creativity in every area of your life. Tonight, I'm doing something a little bit different. Typically, I discuss creativity and how to increase it, but I also want to talk about some of my creative endeavors. Because remember, it's not about what we say here. It's just about making space for creative thought and prioritizing creativity. So I am a photographer and have been for a long time now. But last year, my dad gifted me his old Canon AE-1 Program. He got it back when he was in college many years ago. And luckily, other than the little battery door missing here, it's in great condition. And I have had fun experimenting with film, because that's something about boosting creativity in our lives. We need to be trying new things, experimenting in new mediums, and taking risks, ready to fail. Because that teaches our brain that newness, new things are good. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about my film journey while I do a little bit of tapping on this box, on the film inside, and the camera. So, sit back, relax, and let's get started. So like I said, this is the Canon AE-1 Program, and I have a 50 milliliter lens. Millimeter. I have a 50 millimeter lens on it, and in the back is where it opens up and you put film in. It's a 35 millimeter film. And the cool thing about this camera, and why it was perfect for me to start my film journey with, is because it lets you set it in auto as well as manual. So, while I learned film, I could set it in auto, and slowly as I got more comfortable, switch over to manual. Ooh, that's nice. I've already traveled around the world with this camera, and it's been so fun because with digital, I was so used to getting immediate results, and this made me have a lot more patience. And also made me more aware of what I was shooting. Instead of taking hundreds and hundreds of pictures for no reason, I've been confined to 36. And those 36 better be good. The other thing that's been fun is as I'm taking pictures, the fact that it's my dad's old camera that he had when he was in college. It's fun to think about him on his own creative journey as a younger man, using it. So it's very exciting. Now, let's talk film. I have been using Portra 400 35mm by Kodak. I really like this film. When I first got the camera, I tested out a bunch of different film and found that this one was the one I liked the most. Okay. My bad. I'll edit that out. But yeah, I found that this was the one I liked the most. I find it to be very moody. I like the contrast. And I feel like no matter what my subject is, whether it's landscape or people, it looks good. It also helps that this film is super popular, so it's easy to get a hold of. Switching from digital to film has been interesting, and learning the differences has been costly. Because when you shoot digitally, it's all about preserving the highlights and not letting your highlights get blown out. So not letting the bright whiteness get blown out. Because if you blow out your highlights digitally, you cannot recover them. A lesson I learned early in my photography career. But when you shoot film, you need to be more focused on the shadows. You can lose your shadows if you're not careful. So switching from digital to film has been like learning the opposite. Also, after I finish a roll of film, I send it off and I have to wait almost 2 weeks to get my scans back. So, I don't know if it worked or not. And while it's a bit stressful, it's also really exciting. I found that I was getting a bit stale in my experimentation and trying new things. And so, when I flipped over to film, it gave me a new reason to experiment and explore. And it gave my work a real creative boost over on the digital side. It also made me focus more on the simple, basic things like composition, exposure, things I had started to take for granted because I so often can bring my digital images in the computer and recrop and zoom in and change everything and not have to worry about white balance or even exposure that much. So it really gave me a refocusing on the basics. And that's been really good across the board for my work. I really wanted to load a roll of film into the camera, but it's so noisy. I don't think I can do it in a quiet way that would actually be relaxing. So instead, I'll just tell you. So the back of the camera opens up like this, and there's a little spot where you stick the roll in like this, and then you pull the film out, and it goes on a little wheel like that, and then it rolls out, and the film comes out and gets rolled up on the wheel over here. Every time you take a picture, and then you have to crank the next slide, we'll call it, in, and it rolls up more and goes through. So one thing that I don't do yet, that I would love to explore, is I have yet to try and process my own film. I send mine off in the mail to a company called the Darkroom Lab. They're incredible, by the way. And they process it, scan it in, send me the scans, and then send me back the film. But I would like to try my hand at processing my own film sometime in the future. I think that would be fun and give me a little bit more creative control. I also want to experiment with more black and white film. I've tried one roll and I liked it a lot. It really makes you think about lighting in such a different way. There's something about these little film plastic holders too that give me such nostalgia, because I remember as a kid my dad using that exact same camera and like propping it up on fences and wedging it between rocks to take pictures of our family all together. And these always being around and like using them when I was younger to hold coins and other like random things I found. So I kind of love just the nostalgia of these. The only downside to shooting film is it ain't cheap. It's quite expensive to buy the film, get the film developed, and all that stuff. But other than that, it's been incredibly fun, and especially when I travel, it's been fun to use this camera, and it helps me be more in the moment of travel because I'm not looking back on the pictures I've taken or worrying about how they look in the moment. I just take the picture, and then when I get back, I have something to look forward to of getting the pictures back, and it just creates some excitement.